What are some of your partnerships like, and where do the students gain this experience?
So that's the cool part about working with CDCB. CDCB provides affordable housing to our community. And we work, YouthBuild, which is a program of CDCB, works directly with our sister department, which is DreamBuild. And that is where CDCB is building volumetric modular housing that goes to a community member. So the community is invited to apply for this affordable housing, and that is where our students are training. They're training on the site alongside these skilled carpenters through DreamBuild, but specifically our construction trainer, Mr. Jaime Ibarra, he's been with us for 25 years. He's the one that takes the students out to the site and is teaching them all of the construction hands-on training.
Hello, everyone. This is Michael Quentz with the Brownsville Society for the Performing Arts, and we're about to start another episode of Brownsville Matters. Joining us today is Dorene Ferrar, and Dorene is with CDCB YouthBuild as the program director. You are a first-generation Latina college graduate, and you have more than 10 years experience in academics and communication fields. You have a bachelor's in English, and you specialize in social and psycholinguistics. Whew, that's a lot of syllables. Along with a master's degree in rhetoric and composition. You had your first teaching experiences in Morocco and then in China, and you specialize in public relations and staff development and grant management. Thank you so much, Dorene, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your work as program director for YouthBuild? What type of organization is it?
Yes, so I'm so honored and privileged to be able to be the director there at CDCB YouthBuild. Come Dream, Come Build is the organization that I work for, and they are so dedicated. We are so dedicated to community development. My job in particular revolves around youth education, youth development, just empowering a very vulnerable population, ages 16 to 24, in helping them get their GED and multiple trade certifications. We want to make sure that they are ready to enter the workforce, especially after having been out of school for so long. So that's a little bit about, what I do there at YouthBuild, and just whatever I can do to help them, I will do.
So you mentioned that there are trades involved with their training. What sort of trades can they expect to have experience with?
We offer the construction through a program called NCCER. We also offer welding, and we offer the CNC machining, computer numerical control mill operator. They also receive CPR certifications, OSHA certification, and then finally the Microsoft Office specialist.
So there are a lot of trades that they can work with, from lathing to software then.
Right.
And so what kind of fields are they prepared to enter through this program?
Right now in Brownsville, we are experiencing an economic boom, I would say, more shifted towards the port. We see a lot of companies that are coming in looking for qualified welders, construction workers, our CNC manufacturers. And so we provide the education needed for our young people to be ready to enter that. I would really consider our YouthBuild program to be a pipeline for our industry partners. And so they are just all around ready to enter that workforce.
And when a student from that age group, 16 to 24, enters the program, can you describe a little bit about what their experience will be? How long, for example, is the training for a specific program, and where would that be located?
So our curriculum is, aside from the trade certifications, they're receiving all of those certifications when they leave YouthBuild. So they're stackable credentials aside from their GED, their general education, high school equivalency, diploma. So when they leave the program, or to answer your first question, it takes them 6 to 12 months. They are not only, this is a very different program from other GED programs and trade certifications, because they are receiving leadership development training. They are receiving job readiness classes. They do a lot of community service. We are all about service above self, and we start teaching our young people that as soon as they enter our doors. We also do some etiquette with them, greetings, professionalism, those types of things, and just we provide just a all-encompassing, well-rounded education to a young person free of cost.
Well, that seems even more appropriate now. It's less and less the experience of everyone, especially in that age frame, to have a lot of experience developing their own social skills. So as part of the job training, it seems like a really big advantage to have some of that be part of the job training that they're going to experience. So that is through about a 12-month program, you said. And do you do things like mock interviews or resume building?
Yeah, we partner with our employers. One of the organizations that we recently partnered up with was the Brownsville Police Department. They provided the mock interviews for our young people to get that exposure. And it was such a fun experience. We work with our job developer specifically. Her name is Miss Myra Cruz. She's fantastic. And she facilitates a lot of this, right? So she's giving a class called Job Readiness, providing students with resumes, with in-class mock interviews, etc. And then she'll connect them with an employer, and then they'll have another round of mock interviews, just really gearing them up for that final and ultimate interview where they do get a job and they get placed through our program.
In your experience, is there a particular story that you have with a student that has been through your program and that has found success through that program?
Absolutely. So I'm thinking of this young man who was just, when he got into the program, had very low self-esteem. He had kind of been written off as a air quotes bad kid, and didn't really know or have any direction. He was a young father and he's still a young father. But that was, he had just become a father when he entered into the program. And so he was really trying to figure out how to create a foundation for him and his family. And so when he came to the program, he struggled with some things, but he ended up finishing that program within that 12-month time frame, getting all of his certifications, and he actually now works for the city of Brownsville, and he's been there for over a year. We're so proud of him. He has another baby now. He's married. He's doing great. He comes by in his work truck sometimes just to show us, how good he's doing. We see him sometimes. We work with the Holiday Village. We're building a cottage right now, and he was out there moving some of those cottages to the site where they were going to do the construction. And he was just so excited to see our construction trainer and us. And he's like, "Hey, it's me," And so, it's stories like that really stick out to me. And that's just one of so many.
How many of these students participate in a particular class? Say if they, the first question might be, when does the program start? What is the start and end dates for this type of program?
So our program works in cohorts. We open a group every 3 to 4 months, depending on where we're at programmatically. So every 3 to 4 months, we might start a class of, or a cohort of 10 to 15, depending. These past 2 years, we've seen such an influx in students wanting to come into the program. I think a lot of that is just the YouthBuild staff, the YouthBuild team, the CDCB team, how amazing they are at marketing and social media and just getting the word out there of all the incredible work we're doing. But aside from that, it's a lot of word of mouth. Students that are finishing the program and getting these jobs are going out and saying, hey, I got my NCCR welding, I got my NCCR construction, and now I'm working for Bechtel and I'm making $20 an hour. And so that's what they're taking with them, an opportunity to provide for their family and just something to be really proud of.
So those 3-month cohorts, they're ongoing throughout the year?
Yes. Well, so the typical time that a young person will finish that program will be within that 6-month time frame. So once, like, if we have somebody come in, they'll finish in 6 months. Then we have another group that starts, every 3 months. So we'll typically in the program, we have about 30 young people throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. And I would assume that there's a lot of hands-on training for especially the construction and construction-related and manufacturing areas. Right. What are some of your partnerships like, and where do the students gain this experience?
So that's the cool part about working with CDCB. CDCB provides affordable housing to our community. And we work, YouthBuild, which is a program of CDCB, works directly with our sister department, which is DreamBuild. And that is where CDCB is building volumetric modular housing that goes to a community member. So the community is invited to apply for this affordable housing, and that is where our students are training. They're training on the site alongside these skilled carpenters through DreamBuild, but specifically our construction trainer, Mr. Jaime Ibarra, he's been with us for 25 years. He's the one that takes the students out to the site and is teaching them all of the construction hands-on training.
So that's like an old school apprenticeship in
Absolutely.
a way, so that they're learning while they're doing the actual job.
Correct. And they actually get paid to learn. So while they're out on these construction sites or this construction site, or even in the welding class, they are getting paid to learn. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's another great incentive to participate in the program. Yes. So do you have other community partners that help you in these? And by the way, when you say volumetric housing, is that associated with a particular type of housing? So
it's different from your traditional, and I'm not a construction person, but it's different from your traditional stick build. Volumetric modular housing, basically what that means is they're building module by module. And each module that they build, let's say if a particular home requires 3 modules, then they would build module by module, and then they put that house together. And so it's very different from that traditional stick build where they're building on that site. And so what CDCB has done is they have this manufacturing site called DreamBuild, where they're building these houses or these modules that later get moved to their lot or their home site.
So it's like manufacturing in a way.
Absolutely.
There's a central location for the parts of the house. Say there would be bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen and living space. All constructed independently and then moved to the site after that build.
Correct.
So you have a central place where you're doing your teaching as well as building.
Correct.
So there's not a lot of having to go to the site.
Correct.
You have all of your materials, all of the educational elements right there in that single spot.
Yes.
And so the students don't have to do any additional travel either. It's all right there.
Right. So we do travel from our school all to the Los Fresnos site, which is where DreamBuild is located. But that is the only travel. But like you said, in this at this site, there is a warehouse. So all of the material is there. They have a program manager, the DreamBuild program manager, which our construction trainer works with to say, hey, I need the blueprints, I need XYZ material. And, it's a really fantastic partnership that we have with that department. And then, of course, working with CDCB, they just facilitate everything for us and make sure that YouthBuild, DreamBuild are able to work together in the best interest of our community.
Do you have any current projects that are in process that you can describe for us?
So aside from the home that we build every year with, in conjunction with DreamBuild under CDCB, we also do the Holiday Village Cottage. A third of those cottages are built by our YouthBuild students. And those cottages are so important, and I think they are I don't know what the right word is, but they are a staple of our community during the holidays. And so for our YouthBuild students, they are actually getting to start one now. And they'll finish around August, September time, and then that'll be ready to go for the holiday season. And so for our YouthBuild students, being able to be a part of that project is so cool because they get to go out there to the Holiday Village unveiling, and, they give us a special shout out, like, thank you, YouthBuild, thank you, Mr. Jaime Ibarra. And that is so exciting for them because they're like, wow, I was a part of that. And so that's one of the projects that we have currently going on.
So for some of the folks that aren't familiar with the Holiday Village and the Holiday Cottages, can you describe that event and what the cottages are like?
Sure. The Holiday Village is... I don't want to call it an event. I don't know what the right word is, but it is a display of these cottages that are put up over at Dean Porter Park during the holiday season. And within these cottages, different organizations sponsor, a different cottage, and they decorate it inside and really get to put that holiday spirit in our Brownsville or for our Brownsville community. And YouthBuild provides the building or the construction for over a third of those, or has provided the construction for over a third of those cottages. It's a very, I want to say that they run the opening of those cottages from November to January 1st. And it's such a special site. It really gives that Christmas holiday spirit. I've gone out there several times. Children get to play, they get to look inside, they light up. And it's something very special and unique to our Brownsville community. So
these are very small
yes.
Structures
yes.
in terms of cottages.
Right.
They are
right.
almost like mini cottages.
Yes.
And they are placed kind of in an arc around the Dean Porter Park.
Correct.
And they're not just cottages in terms of a box structure. They have a lot of special touches to them, don't they? Yeah,
they have a lot of special touches to them. And I think that's where our training with DreamBuild and, is so beneficial because it just transfers so well to this specific project.
Yeah, they're not just making sure that every corner is square and the building sits right. There are lots of special touches, things that need to be constructed in terms of what the blueprints demand, and they're decorative yes. as well as functional, and they all tend to have a very individual kind of character to them.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of experience to be gained from just the basic construction elements. So obviously the students benefit from their training, their experience with your program in terms of skills development, in terms of job marketability, and just the personal confidence in knowing not just the skill, but the environment of the job with that skill, and the experience, like you say, mock interviews and resume building and simple etiquette, a solid handshake and that sort of thing.
Right.
Old school kind of stuff. What is the upshot benefit to the community with a program like this?
There is so much benefit to the community with this. I am a strong proponent of education. I remember my dad telling me as a child I struggled with reading, and he would tell me, if you can read, you can do anything. And I think in this program, teaching students these foundational and fundamental literacy skills, mathematics skills, these trades, they're invaluable. And 66% of our adults here in Brownsville have a high school diploma. That's what we're trying to do, is close that gap, make sure that education is accessible to everyone, and it should be accessible to everyone. The benefit of a program like YouthBuild is keeping these young people engaged. When we have disengaged youth, we see them turning to gang culture. We see them getting incarcerated. We see them going into drugs, etc. And so a program like YouthBuild and what we do, capturing these young people, seeing their potential, understanding what they have to offer, is completely, it's priceless, right? We can't put a price on that, in their safety and in also just education, just making sure that they have that opportunity that should be afforded to everyone, which is accessible education.
So from that kind of training and that kind of investment in the individual, not obviously, it's going to be of value to that individual, and especially for that person's ability to care for themselves and the people that they care about as well. It gives them the options for a solid life in a profession or a job that they choose or have the opportunity to start with. But on the other side, too, it is value to the community at large. Because, as you said, now they're contributing to the economy, they're contributing to the development of the community with their skills. And the likelihood is far less for them to be involved in things that cost the community.
Absolutely.
And costs the individual life happiness and productivity as well. So there's an upside no matter where you look with something like this.
Right.
Do you have any other entities, corporations that help support your efforts?
I would say yes. We have several organizations that support our YouthBuild program here in Brownsville, CDCB YouthBuild program, which would be United Way. United Way does support us, through a grant. And then we also partner with BISD. We co-enroll with BISD in making sure that these young people, again, have that opportunity to have that type of education. Aside from that, we partner with the Department of Labor at the federal level to, get them the tools that they need, clothing, uniforms, anything, the stipend that they receive, and anybody else that would want to partner up with us.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us about YouthBuild and the work that you're doing on behalf of the youth in the community, giving them opportunities and supporting the community at large. That's Dorene Ferrar with YouthBuild as the program director. And where can they find out about your program?
So I want to invite everyone to go to our website. It's www.cdcb.org/youthbuild. And then also you can call us at 956-548-2302.
Thank you so much, and good luck with all of your work.
Thank you.
Hi, KXIQ listeners. This is Michael Quantz with the Brownsville Society for the Performing Arts, here to tell you about our podcast, Brownsville Matters. Everyone in Brownsville has a story to tell, and these are the stories. We broadcast these stories every Friday at 5 p.m. and every Sunday at 3 p.m. on KXIQ 105.1 FM on your radio dial. You can also catch these stories rebroadcast on our YouTube channel for Brownsville Society for the Performing Arts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and smash the notifications if you want more information about these stories that you watch and listen to.